It's the first week of March and the nights are getting lighter, the weather's kind of getting a bit warmer, and that does mean that spring is just around the corner and we're nearly ready for the main theme park season 2026. We're just so excited to get back in the parks, bring you all the latest vlogs and updates on the channel. It's always one of my favourite times of the year now when we get into March and just thinking that we're almost back in them parks. It was lovely over February half term though, visiting lots of different parks and getting the limited ride openings and having some construction updates and bringing you all of that on the channel, but there is nothing quite like getting into the main season itself. We're just days away from lots of our different parks opening, so stay tuned for lots of content coming up throughout March, April and beyond, all across the UK, because we've got lots of exciting travel plans. Now I'm sure that a lot of you watching this are going to be visiting plenty of theme parks this year, so let us know what you're looking forward to the most down below in the video comments. The great thing about this year in the UK is that lots of new things opening and a well-rounded mix of attractions, from things for the kids all the way through to the big thrill rides for adults. Like, there really is something all the way through, which I'm very pleased about. Something for everyone to enjoy, and it's always a good year when you get a year like this, because you just know that everybody out there has got something new to experience. And I feel like 2026 is just going to be a good all-round year for the parks. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that we're going to hopefully get the weather for it, because it can make all the difference, can't it, with our different theme parks. Right then, in this video, I'm going to be talking about my top tips for the 2026 theme park season, because I've got quite a few different tips that I want to share, but I'm sure that a lot of you watching this have also got some tips and ideas that you'd like to share as well. So I'd love it if you put them down below in the video comments so that everybody else can see them tips, and me too, and then we can all look at them and help each other out throughout the year as well. Just different things, whether it's a money saving tip or how you can save a bit of time. I would love to know all of them down in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to start off with talking about what, in my opinion, is like the biggest top tip for 2026. And I feel like this one over the past few years just kept getting more and more important. Then this is like now my ultimate tip for UK theme parks. Book tickets online in advance and you can save an absolute fortune. You can get the biggest savings. Back in the day, go back 10 years, booking online might save, you know, £2 or £3 here and there. That isn't the case anymore. These parks want you to book online. They want to know how many are coming, and then they can staff up accordingly as well, which makes it a better experience for everyone, but also it means the parks, especially during these tough times at the moment, can save money where they need to. If there's not many people booked in, they don't need as many staff and that sort of thing. So the way they're trying to do it now is booking tickets online, so they know exactly how many's coming, but also you get a massive saving. This is the case at a lot of our parks now. I've got a couple of examples here. Alton Towers, the walk-up price in 2026 is £68. But if you book online in advance, it can be from £32. There we go. This isn't just saving a few pounds here and there. That is a massive saving, 68 to 32. Another park I wanted to mention was Paultons Park. The walk-up price this year is £61.50, but booked online, it's £46.75. So again, another huge saving from booking online. It's the case with the Merlin parks, the family-owned parks, everywhere pretty much now, that isn't like free to enter, you know, and pay per ride. Like literally booking online can save you a fortune. Now I know that there is some negative to booking online, and that is the weather. You don't know what the weather's going to be if you plan it that far in advance. Some parks do different deals. If you book it like a few days in advance, you know, you're still getting a saving, but not as much as if you book it 7 days in advance. So my best advice, if you plan a theme park trip, try and book it like a couple of weeks in advance, get it locked in, and then you're going to save an absolute fortune. So in my opinion, that's like the most important tip, money saving tip for this year. I sound like Martin Lewis, don't I? Right then, on to number 2. Check the open hours and plan closures just to avoid any disappointment. The good thing is our parks in the UK have become a lot more transparent in recent years. Back in the day, you didn't really know if something was going to be closed until you were going. With better websites now and ride information boards on websites, and also theme park apps, and also just little things like, you know, social media, being able to ask a park before you go on messages and that sort of thing. Luckily, you start to know now if things are going to be closed. It's always worth checking for them closures just to avoid disappointment. There's nothing worse than going to a theme park thinking, oh, this ride's closed today, but then it was listed on the website, so you would have known in advance, and then you could have gone a different day. And of course, opening hours, like I'm sure that everyone's done it before. We've all done it where we've arrived at a theme park and it's not open on that that day. Even a theme park professional, if you want to call me that, someone who does it all the time. I've even done that before. I've rocked up at a theme park. Luckily, it was only a small little park, and actually it was supposed to be open. It was just like a little seaside amusement park, fun fair, but it wasn't open because of the weather. But still, we've all rocked up at a theme park before, probably, and it's been closed, or thinking, oh God, it's shutting earlier than we're expecting. But yeah, make sure you check in the website, check in the hours, just to make sure that you do know that park is actually open on that day. There's a few closed days dotted about at UK parks, normally kind of March, April, back end of the year, September, October. So yeah, just check in the website just to make sure that you know that the park is actually open, and also that all the rides are going to be operating that you want to experience as well. Right, my third tip, and this is another really important one from a safety point of view, but also just from like disappointment as well. You've got to make sure that you check in the height restrictions on the park's website before you go. There's nothing worse, especially for a kid, going to a park being so excited for a new ride, such as maybe like the Bluey roller coaster at Alton Towers, and thinking, oh, I can't wait to go on it. Get in there and not being the right height. It's always worth checking your kids before, and this is what we'll be doing with George. Obviously at the moment he's not standing up yet, but when he is, we'll be making sure that we're checking his height, and then we'll know that thinking, right, he's definitely the height. There'll be no disappointment when we take him to that ride, because there's nothing worse, is there, than it happened to me when I was a kid. You're thinking, oh, I don't think I'm tall enough, and you're not. So yeah, checking the height restrictions. They're all listed on parks websites and apps and that sort of thing. So double checking that just to avoid any kind of disappointment is definitely worth it. This is another really important one, and this is pack the essentials, but not too much either. There's nothing worse than going to a park with a massive rucksack on. Yes, you've got everything you want, but firstly, that rucksack's heavy, it's weighing you down. If you're walking around a big park like Alton Towers, your back's going to be killing by the end of it. But also, you want to make sure you've got the right things that you need as well. And this all depends on personal preference. Now, if you're doing water rides, things like a little Ziploc plastic bag, they can be perfect for the likes of Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Stormforce 10 at Drayton Manor, Tidal Wave at Thorpe Park. Yeah, we've got some mega soakers in this country. So make sure that you've got a little Ziploc bag, because then you can put things in there, like your wallet, your purse. Along with that, if you've got like just anything you don't want to get wet, but mainly your mobile phone, if you've got like a smaller camera or anything, you can put it in there, Ziploc it, and then it's probably going to be okay, or it should be okay. I know some people double Ziploc them as well on some rides, but I've never had any problems doing like a single Ziploc bag. I think that can definitely be worth it. Along with that, think of things like chargers, do you need a charging device? Places now do have mobile phone charging, but it can cost you quite a bit of money if you're doing that. It can cost a fortune. Bring a battery pack. You can buy like a good battery pack from Argos or something, take it with you, and then you can charge things as you go. The biggest one that I like to do, and no, not everybody wants to, but if you really want to save money at theme parks in 2026, is take your own food and drink where you can do. I know there's a few places out there that are a bit kind of funny on that. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is one of them. They don't allow picnics. I've took like little things in before, but not like a full picnic, if you know what I mean. If you're just taking like a couple of little snacks in your pocket, it's not really going to be a problem. It's more like big picnics I've found at Pleasure Beach. I don't really agree with that. I think you should be able to take in what you want to, but still, luckily at most parks you can. I don't really mind buying the food too much at Pleasure Beach because it's good quality and it's a good price, but it's mainly this one for the Merlin Park. Since the Aramark takeover a few years ago, we make sure we take our food all the time, especially going Alton Towers, Legoland, Chessington, them parks. We are taking our own food just to save money, but also it's the quality. Like, at least I know I can have my sandwiches and some fruit and yogurts and that sort of thing, instead of just eating like the Aramark food that's not great and also very expensive. So yeah, definitely bring in packing your own food. I would definitely recommend it. We've got a nice little lunchbox that separates the fruit and sandwiches and everything, and that's perfect. We've had a new one for this year. You might have seen it actually in my Universal UK construction update the other day. That's my new lunchbox. So that's what we're taking. We've got one of them each for going to the parks in 2026. But yeah, you can save a fortune. Right then, in terms of time saving, utilising single rider queues and parent swap options at the parks that offer them. So yeah, the first one, single rider. At parks like Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, single rider queues can be a big thing. If you're on your own going to the park or don't mind splitting up from your party, single rider queues can be a great way of saving time. It's worth pointing out, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be quicker than the main queue, but most of the time you will be. I actually like the single rider queues that are kind of hidden away a little bit because they're the ones that don't really get that busy. And then you've got ones like the Hyperion single rider queue at Thorpe Park, which, to be honest, sometimes isn't faster than the main queue. Depends how big that main queue is, but I've tested it before and I've actually been quicker in the main queue than I have in the normal single rider queue. Me and Charlotte have done these comparisons before. So yeah, it's worth pointing out, it doesn't always save you time, but it can do, especially if you're familiar with the park and you know like how far back that single rider queue is. Parent swap is a big one that we've been using quite a bit since George is nearly 9 months old, and you know we've been really utilising that at the parks, where basically you can go to like guest services or the ride and you can get like a little card, and basically it means that one of you queues up and waits the time, but then the other parent can look after the child, and then you can swap over, and then the other parent gets to go straight on in the fast track queue normally, which I think is a good system for parents. We've utilised that a lot since having George, and some parks offer it, a lot of them do, so it's definitely worth looking at. The Merlin parks do it, quite a few others do as well. And that can be a real time saver if you have got kids that aren't at the height restriction yet for that attraction. Tip number 6 is download the official theme park app. Now this is something that, you know, go back 10 years, still wasn't that relevant. In recent years, this is a big thing now. Having the app can be like your savior. You've got your digital map on there. Some parks don't even give you a printout map now. It's just a digital map. I think there should always be an option for a printout, and it's a nice souvenir as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, you get the app, you can see all your information on there. Big ones, queue times, they'll often offer top tips and things on there as well, restaurants, where to eat if you're not bringing your packed lunch, and also as well, just general information about the park, like guest services, where toilets are, first aid, anything like that. So having an app is definitely worth it, and making the most of the Wi-Fi. Like there's Wi-Fi at most theme parks now as well, free Wi-Fi that you can hook up onto. The Wi-Fi is always pretty good at Alton Towers and the Merlin parks. Pleasure Beach has got it in some areas. Poulton's Wi-Fi seems to be pretty good now. So you know, it's one of them. Utilising the app can definitely be worth it. And number 7, annual passes can be the cheapest option if you are planning multiple park visits. Now, there's been some crazy offers on the Merlin Pass. They've been doing an offer recently where, you know, if you stay in one of the hotels, you get essential Merlin Pass included. Bear in mind that is like got a lot of restrictions on that annual pass, but still, like if you're not tied down with certain dates and things, you can save an absolute fortune with that. But even like going for like the gold and platinum passes, I mean, we have the top tier Merlin Pass, the platinum, mainly because, you know, we visit all the time. We certainly get our money's worth out of that. But yeah, like depending on how much you go in, annual passes can be a lifesaver. At Alton Towers, the price of an annual pass is pretty similar. It's like a day ticket, you know, so it's like you may as well have an annual pass if you're going to be visiting multiple times throughout the year. You can save a lot of money, and it does take the pressure off as well, doesn't it? So it means when you do visit, you're not as pressured to do everything in one day because you just got that extra time. And then my final tip, number 8, is try something new. I've been saying this year that smaller independent and family-owned parks need as much support as possible. Every park does in the UK, but especially the family-owned parks. Try something new. If you're going to do something new this year, like head out there and just check something out and just see what it's like. You might think, oh, you know what, it hasn't got loads of big rides and stuff, but they really appreciate your support, appreciate your custom. That's something that I'm always proud of with us at Theme Park Worldwide. We've always covered a wild variety range of parks. It's not just the big hitters that we cover. Sometimes we'll be at a seaside amusement park or fun fair. The next day we're at a major park. You know, we like to cover everything, not just in the UK, that's worldwide, Europe, Asia, wherever we are, America. We'll always cover everything. But yeah, more important than ever this year, independent parks, family-owned attractions need as much love and support as possible. So try something new. You might be in your comfort zone visiting the Merlin parks, but you know what? Trying something new is definitely worth it in 2026. Because remember, there is so much to see out there, and you might just find a new favourite park or favourite ride. But there you go, they're my 8 top tips for visiting theme parks in 2026. If you've got any tips, share them down below, and it helps everybody out because I'm sure you've all got some different things and tips that you do as well for visiting the different parks. Of course, we've got lots of exciting things coming up. We've got a vlog this weekend from Blackpool Pleasure Beach, all the latest updates. We're at Alton Towers next week for the opening, Alton After Dark, and lots more things on the way, including Disneyland Paris in a few weeks for the opening of World of Frozen and Disney Adventure World, the biggest expansion in Disneyland Paris history. That leaves me with one final thing to say. get out there, keep on riding. See you in the next video.